All right, let's jump right into a really cool puzzle. How in the world does a massive ship climb a giant concrete wall? Sounds impossible, right? Well, we're about to break down one of the most brilliant and surprisingly simple pieces of engineering ever designed.
So just imagine this for a second. You've got this huge cargo ship, we're talking hundreds of feet long, and it's staring down this absolutely colossal concrete dam. The river's on the other side, sure, but it's at a totally different height. So, how does it get across? I mean, it can't sail over it, and it can't just go around it. It's stuck.
And that right there is the heart of the problem. We're not talking about a little step. The water level on one side can be dozens, sometimes even hundreds of feet higher than the other. It's literally a wall of water. You can't just, open a gate. That would be a complete disaster, just a catastrophic waterfall. So here we are, facing what seems like an impossible crossing. This is a challenge engineers have had to solve on rivers all over the world. How do you possibly bridge that gap and do it safely?
Well, you might be thinking it's some kind of super high-tech, futuristic machine, right? Nope. The answer is an idea that's actually been around for centuries, and its beauty is it's just so simple. It's elegant, it works, and get this, it uses the very thing that creates the problem in the first place: water.
And that solution is called a lock system. Honestly, the absolute best way to think about it is also the simplest. Just picture a water elevator, but for boats. And that is the genius of this whole thing. See, instead of trying to lift the boat itself, which would be incredibly difficult, the lock system moves the water. The boat just comes along for the ride, just floating there. It's basically a giant chamber that you can fill up or empty out to perfectly match the water level you need.
Okay, so a water elevator for boats. That sounds cool, but how does it actually work? That's the big question, isn't it? How does it move all that water and the boat so smoothly? Let's break it down step by step. We'll start with a boat that needs to go down.
Okay, let's look at our first scenario, the journey downstream. So our boat is on the high side of the dam, and it needs to get to the low side.
The whole process is surprisingly simple. First, the boat just sails right into the lock chamber, which is already full of water. Then the big gate closes behind it, sealing it in. Now here's the magic part. Valves open up and the water is slowly, gently released. As the water level goes down, so does the boat. Once the water inside the lock matches the river below, the front gate swings open and the boat just sails right out. Easy as that.
All right, so that's going down. But what about going the other way? How does a boat go up this water elevator? Well, the principle is exactly the same. You just do it in reverse.
So just like before, the boat enters the lock, but this time from the lower river. The back gate closes. And here's the one crucial difference. Instead of draining water out, valves open to let water flow in from the upper river. The chamber starts to fill, and the boat just rises right up with the water. As soon as the water level inside matches the high side, the front gate opens, and the boat is on its way, continuing its journey upstream. And when you put them side by side like this, you can see the whole concept at a glance. The process is pretty much identical. The only real difference is that one key step. To go down, you release water. To go up, you fill it in. That's it. That's the whole secret. So, when you really boil it all down, what you've got is this incredibly simple but really clever system. It's just a perfect example of what people call elegant engineering. Solving a huge, complicated problem with a beautifully straightforward idea. I mean, the whole central idea is really this simple. A lock is a water elevator for boats. That's the perfect way to put it. It doesn't need all this complex machinery or tons of energy to lift a heavy ship. It just uses gravity and the river's own water to do all the heavy lifting.
And that really is the key takeaway here. The pure genius isn't about building some complicated machine to lift a boat. It's in realizing you don't have to lift the boat at all. You just have to lift the water it's already floating in. It's such a simple shift in thinking, but it solves this absolutely enormous problem.
And that leaves us with one final thought. This simple idea, this water elevator, completely transformed global trade and travel. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other huge, seemingly impossible problems are out there right now, just waiting for a brilliantly simple solution just like this one?